Hey, welcome everybody. This is a self-elected Apeoftheyear once again, and this is going to be my review on the game Cliffs of Dover as it is right now after the newest TeamFusion patch 4.0. And I'm going to give you all the most important changes that they did to the game. I'm going to show you lots of scenes, how the game is right now, and I'm also going to make some kind of update video for my channel here. But first of all, look at this detailed 3D model and the effects there, and the beautiful landscape. And sure, Cliffs of Dover once was a shitty game, but now it's undeniable the best flight simulator, at least in my opinion. So first of all, some kind of update on my channel right here. I'm back in the seat and finally able to fly again. Of course, I'm going to make new videos for you guys now, and I wanted to wait for this patch to come out before making new Cliffs of Dover content, of course. And I'm going to bring this channel to the next level, and I will make my videos a little bit more professional from now on. And now that the patch is out and I'm back home at the flight control center, I will first of all work on all the requested tutorials for you guys. So escorting, attacking bombers, new evasive maneuvers, all the stuff that you requested. I'm even going to do a War Thunder tutorial for the 109, which really makes me suffer, because if you know this game, Cliffs of Dover, playing War Thunder is a little bit... well, it's just my opinion. I don't like the physics. It feels like flying a brick in 109 in War Thunder. But this is just my opinion. The game surely isn't really bad, you know, with the event modus and stuff like that. But let's go back to the channel. I'm going to include more basic tutorials in the future, and more advanced ones too, like always. But this is a change that I'm going to do, so I will indicate by the thumbnail color of the tutorials which difficulty we are reaching with it. So easy and basic stuff is going to have a light blue to green color, and more difficult stuff will get darker towards the red color spectrum colors. So let's talk about the patch and what it changed. So the most obvious difference, and you have probably seen it already, is the improved lighting and the more realistic colors and textures. And for example, with the lighting, the way that the cockpit looks like now, it's, I think, just incredible. If you look at all these details and look at the texture of the wing there, and you even have a small picture of your loved wife now. This is not my wife. It's just a default picture. But this is the most obvious thing. The game just looks better. Especially here in England, it's just incredible. I think this looks incredibly good. Here you see the new lighting effects, how you don't see against the sun so well anymore, and how it all changed. And here another very important thing is that you see the new autumn textures. And in just a moment you are going to see the new winter textures of the game. And this of course also improves the game overall a lot, because for example, if you were flying the game for a long time, it could get a little bit boring because everything all the time looked the same and you only had this one landscape. But now the online servers can change between a few different looks, and this is going to greatly improve the long-term playing experience on online servers, for example. Some less obvious and smaller changes are nevertheless extremely useful for the game as it is right now. For example, the contact visibility was greatly improved, so even if you aren't eagle-eyed, you should be able to find enemies now. Many people that had problems with spotting contacts are doing a lot better now. And another thing is, for example here, it sounds a lot more realistic if you open the side window. So there's a lot of more noise, and I'm not able to hear as extremely good where enemy planes are as before. So this is also one of the many changes that they did to make the game more realistic. Another very nice change is that the the recording feature, the in-game recording feature, is now working, and using the recording feature doesn't get you kicked out of the game anymore. So before you had to use some tricks and in order not to get kicked out. And here you see very beautiful effects happening. This is some kind of new ammunition that flashes when you hit the enemy, because I just wanted to use this to show a little bit. It's something that they implemented very new, and the way that the impact of the projectiles and the damage is showing is also being greatly improved. So it just looks a lot better if you hit the enemy. And also, yeah, there are extremely many smaller changes like sounds and all those small things that make the game just seem a little bit more well-rounded and a little bit more realistic. And here you see what happens if a pilot named Black decides to shoot you down with a loadout of only Minengeschosse. This is pretty incredible in its effects as it is right now, and in just a moment we will see how this all looked from the outside. I'm not sure if Minengeschosses were that good, but you really have to take into account that the shooter is a very good one. So if Black shoots at you, you're going to lose a few wings. Not only one, but a few. So let's go into the most important change of this patch. And in my opinion, the most important change that they did is the physics of the game and the way the planes behave in the air. So first of all, it even feels better than before. So Cliffs of Dover's biggest pros always were the physics and the feeling that you could invest in your ability to fly, the fingertip feeling that you can invest in the way that you are flying your maneuvers is just so satisfying in Cliffs of Dover, and it's for me the biggest reason why I really love the game. But they improved it even more, and now for example, the plane's reaction on your control input depends a lot more on the actual airspeed that you have at the point in time. So you need to pull a lot harder when flying fast, for example, and you won't break your wing off as easily as before, because the plane won't react so abruptly to your control inputs. And this opens, for example, completely new opportunities for evasive maneuvers, and should help especially the British with helping, it should help the British with dealing with getting grouped and zoomed a lot. Of course, it's also just very realistic and something that just improves the feeling that you have for the plane that you are flying. Also, the different planes now have certain performance altitudes, and those are taken into account by far more now. So, for example, Spitfire or Hurricane can now climb with a 109 in lower altitudes, and this is going to change the higher you get. And this is something, for example, that you hear a lot of former World War II fighter aces talking about in documentaries when they are asked about some planes. They always consider some planes better than others in certain altitudes. And this was something that you couldn't really imagine or relate to as a flight simmer before, because it never was really implemented in any game. But Cliffs of Dover is now doing a big step in the right direction here and making it a lot more complex in this regard. So, if you look at the game as it is right now, I would really say that this game is going to be able to compete with games like Battle of Stalingrad or DCS 1944. And you really have to acknowledge that this game, thanks to the attack people, has a future. They are keeping the game alive, and I want to thank you guys for that. So, see you in the skies or in the next video. This is a self-elected Ape of the Year, signing out.